Hello guys. Well, let's see how this goes. There is not really a plan for this video. I'm just going to draw. Yeah, I wanna draw a map for my third short story, and I'm just going to record it, and I'll see how it goes. So as you can see, I already drew the outlines to the entire world, but the place my short stories are in this square. So I'm going for that. So I already drew two maps. It's this one for the first short story, and this one for the second short story. And the third one I'm going to create is this one. So yeah, I'm I'm probably the most unstructured person you will ever meet. So before I dive into the details, I'm going to redefine the outlines of my map. I think this one, let's see. There's this thing in the way. I don't know if I can move it. No, I can't. Well, let's see. And this is also not a tutorial of any sorts. Like I said, I'm the most unstructured person. But yeah, before I dive into the details of this, I'm going to define the borders of the entire Betharian realm. That's how I called my people. It's a sort of Spartans on steroids. For example, in my first short story, the main character has to, well, when Betharians reach the age of 15, they have to do this trial, trial of the gods, and Thaxus, the lightning god, his trial is to get hit by lightning, and well, that's kind of it. But yeah, as you can imagine, there are not a lot of people that will survive the trial. And this little area is a little bit inspired by, I hope I pronounce it right, Lake Catatumbo in South America, I believe. Colombia maybe, or I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I think the measurements, yeah, this was what I was looking for. I think the measurements are quite big. Well, you can see it here. Every square is about 1,000 kilometers, and right now it's 940 millimeters, so it's about 9,400 kilometers, and I think that's a little bit too big for my liking. So I think I want to have my realm up until this point. I think that's nice. So yeah, you can see I didn't really, I just put the realms of the gods. These are the 12 gods I used. And maybe I will change the names, but for now I think it's good. So maybe I can use this line to where can I? Maybe up until this point, and then this can go away. I think this one can also be a little bit smaller. I will see how it goes. And then there's this little line. And I'll just... Yeah, what I usually do is I first create the line, and then later I'll define what kind of a border it is. Is it a natural border? Maybe it's a diplomatic border. But yeah, I think for now it's good. So he can have this realm. He can have this realm. I think, yeah, it's okay like this. And I think I want to... Well, let's just create a few more squiggly lines. So I want to have this line style, this broken line, and then I'll just... Well, I'll see how it goes. Maybe like this. And in my opinion, borders are really... Yeah, they're funny. Not a lot of... When in real life you don't put a lot of thought in a border, but what defines a border, yeah, I think about 70% of the borders are just natural, just natural borders, like a stream or a hill or a... And it's kind of funny. I think I can show it. I'm from the Netherlands, so yeah, when you look at the border of the Netherlands, well, it's... Yeah, you don't really see, is it a natural border or what is it? Yeah, I think this is too... Yeah, I think this shows it the best. Like, you see these straight lines. It's probably... This is probably diplomatic. I have no idea, but that's just my 2 cents. But if you look at this squiggly line, if you really zoom in, then it's probably... Is it? No, there's no water. Here, I think here you can see a little border of water that splits the Netherlands and Germany. And yeah, this does not look natural, but it does look like water, but it's probably a canal or something man-made. Yeah, it's probably just a ditch with water. But yeah, that's how... I think borders are funny to... Yeah, if you really dive into it. Here you see it's also a bit of water. Maybe we can see some more. Here's a little bit of a squiggly line. Yeah, here you can see it. It's the Berkel. I don't know, I'm not from the area, but it's probably a known stream or a small river. But yeah, that's how... but I'm going to do that later. Maybe have some hills here or a stream. It's probably going to be a little stream that is going either this way to the northern seas or to the southern part. And then I think I'm going to split up this. Yeah, these can be... I'm going to remove the measurements for now. So Yeah, this what I'm doing now actually has nothing to do with the short story. Yeah, I don't like this. The short story I'm writing, but yeah, it's just something that gets in the way if I don't do it. Yeah, and I'm using Illustrator, which is not the most user-friendly software if you've never worked with it. But yeah, I use this for work as well. So, and I did some courses, so I kind of got the hang of Illustrator. But I think if you're a beginner, then yeah, that's probably a lot of easier software to use, or just pen and paper, which is that's probably the most honest materials. So I might just put different names at different places. Like, for example, this is named after Fentress, the goddess of wind. But I'm still doubting, yeah, do I want it to be this more towards the Arctic? So is it more of Arctic winds, or do I want to use hurricanes, in which it would need to have a more tropical climate? So I might switch. This could be a little area where a lot of hurricanes, where a lot of hurricanes exist. So I might switch these, but I'm not sure for now. Yeah, let's zoom out a little. Yeah, I also didn't pay much attention to this border, but it's there. And also this one. But yeah, it's something that doesn't bother me right now. And why did this bother me and this didn't? I have no idea, but that's just how my mind works. So yeah, this is the smallest of the realms. And I'm not entirely... Yeah, where do I want this line to be? Maybe... Oh, you can see here. Yeah, well, maybe it should stay there. Yeah, you see, I drew a little river there, and the river just follows the entire, or the border just follows the entire river. So yeah, I might leave it. And then maybe what I will do is change this a little bit to here. Yeah, I think this is a little too much. And now you might think, why do you want this line to be there, and why wasn't it good the way it was? And that's actually because, well, lore-wise, there are a few things that are going on in my world. Like I said, it's Spartans on steroids. So when the Batarians, when they are young, and they survive their trial, they get 3 wives. Because in ancient times, giving birth was kind of dangerous. So, and because so two things: giving birth is a dangerous thing in ancient times, and being a boy that has to survive this getting struck by lightning or a fire trial, or uh, being in the icy in the icy wasteland, completely naked. There's just not a lot of not a lot of survivors. So yeah, I call them birthing wives. So each boy gets 3 birthing wives, and they have to make as much children as possible just to have a higher survival rate of the Batarians. But for my third story, these birthing wives, their husbands lost a battle, and the victors of the battle come to this to the camp to enslave the wives of the men they defeated. And I call the story The Daughters of Hes, and Hes in my lore is the wife. It's the god queen, and Namron, he's the god king and the judge. So I want them to fight. Probably Logaon. It's the god of the mountains. I named him that. So I think this will be the area where the story will take place. So yeah, I guess this is good for now. I'm not quite satisfied with the line, but on the other hand, it doesn't really bother that much. And a thing you can also, if you want to use a border, a natural border, for example, a river, then sometimes if you look at a real map, it's also, and I think I looked this up sometime. I think it's the Danube. Donau, we call it Donau. I think in English it's called the Danube. See, and this, Donau. You see, it's so here you see, and this is probably because a river changes course over time. So this is probably how the river went. But through time the course has probably shifted a little bit, but then the borders were established, and that's why these weird. But it probably used to follow this line. And I think this might be diplomatic. You see, there's a road here. So something you might take into consideration. I know it's not a tutorial video, but it's something I look at. What I look at when I draw a map. And I said I made this. These are 2 maps I previously created. And so this is Taxias, I called it. And that's this one. So this is more of a world map, whereas everything placed. Laganeas, it's the northern part of the world, and it's this part of the land. And this is looking different. This is more of just a crude outline, and here, it's icy, so there's probably a lot of glaciers, a lot of ripped land, and also when you look at the world map. You see, this is more of a kind of a straight line, but if you go more north, there's all these I don't even know how you call it, but yeah, you can see what I mean. Russia, there's a lot of, and that's from my understanding because the ice shapes the land this way more, and if you look at this is more of a gentle sea that slowly, yeah, shapes the edges, and then of course you got the Philippines and Indonesia, but that's more because it's volcanic islands. So yeah, that's what I look at when I draw the map. And yeah, so yeah, I'm going to create a new document. And what I might do is create charts and maps, Bavarian Empire has, but I didn't create anything for it. So yeah, I'm probably going to take these borders, I copy them to, yeah, what I'm going to do, I don't know what the best thing to do is. Yeah, I'm probably going to just create a new map. I don't want pixels, I want millimeters, and then 1,000, but it's probably bigger even. It's not even that big. So yeah, I'm going to, yeah, actually I need, yeah, I actually need this size because the way I want to place it in the PDF file of my story, and that's probably, I'm going to create a new line, create this, and then scale it down like this. Yeah. So it's going to be quite small. Am I going to do it this way? No, I'm not going to do it this way. I'm going to try something else. I'm going to just divide it by 2. Then this is the map. Divided by 2 again. And this. Yeah, I think if I'm going to divide it one more time, then it's going to be too small. Yeah, like this. No, that's a mistake. There's this thing in the way. It's my recording button. Yeah, well, let's just. Yeah, this is my first video, so I made a screen recording, but I don't know how it's going to turn out. Yeah, like this. Probably like this. Missing a part of the. Yeah, so I'm going to leave this, and I can adjust my canvas. So then this will be the area I'm going to work with. And now I want to remove this. And okay, in the future video I will have to see where this this recording button is. Because it's quite in the way. But yeah. Okay, so then we have this. We got this one and this one and this one. So these are the names and they will be placed there. Yeah, and I can probably also divide these by, I did divided by 2, so that's probably divided by 4. By this one by 4. Divide this one by 4. And this one. Yeah, so okay, I might multiply it by 2. Yeah, I'll just take all of them and multiply them by 2. Yeah, that's better, I think. Yeah, I will see in the future. So I think this is also the least fun area to draw because it's all inland, and it's just more fun to create a coastline or yeah these and then it's also quite a small area, but yeah, let's see how I'm going to fill this in. And yeah, like I said, so she's the god queen, the god king, Namron, and yeah, so the birthing wives escape and they are going to establish a new land, and that's it's going to be named after Hess. They meet this old woman and they think it's Hess. If it's really her, well, I'm going to leave that to the reader. But yeah, so I got that's why it's so small. It's probably the smallest realm in the entire universe because yeah, it's not a realm that's expanded by warfare. It's just yeah, it's these wives that just wanted to live in peace, and also a lot of soldiers that don't like the way the Betharians are living, and yeah, they want to live in this peaceful this peaceful plot of land in yeah this war torn world. And they also don't have a trial, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, like I said, I'm not really the most structured person, so I'm trying to explain some things, trying to not explain some things. It's just yeah, just bear with me. And then yeah, I think this might be a little big. Yeah, and it's not Thaxios, but it's Hasios. And I use this toponym to describe a realm where they Yeah, where they praise. Is that the right word? They praise this god. So they praise Logaon, Medina, Nainron, S. But I think it's a little bit too big. I think I'm going to divide it by 2, but then yeah, so there's this is going to take some calculations, and calculations are not my best. Yeah, let's divide it by 2, and then everything else has to be multiplied by 2. No, it's also be divided by 2. Yeah, you see, math isn't my strongest. Yeah, it's not my strongest type. I hope I'm better at writing and creating maps than I am at math. So this might also go divided by 2. I'm going to divide everything by 2. Well, actually, and this one as well, divided by 2. Yeah. Everything will be divided by 2. And this is not going well. Remove this and place it back. Yeah. All right, it was a hidden layer. Going to divide this by 2 and this by 2, and then okay, so this is easy. It's 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. This is going to be more complex. Okay, so divided by 2. Copy, 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 copy. Okay, I think I removed the wrong line. Why isn't it working? And why I wanted to do a real-time map drawing is because when I see these speed drawings, it really demotivates me. And they probably take about 8 hours, and they crop it into 15 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, I know rationally that they don't do it this fast, but when I see someone do it really fast, it just demotivates me, and I'm like, yeah, why am I even trying? I'm never going to succeed. So yeah, with this video, I hope I can show you how long it really takes to draw a map. Here's my line. Here is it. Yeah, so 7.5. Copy, 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 copy. And I use this. I think that this is a fun measurement. It's a kilometer, and so this is not actually a time stamp, but it's a like light years. It's also it's a distance, but it sounds like time, if that makes sense. And I think, yeah, this is just how long can yeah, it's probably 30 kilometers. What soldiers used to travel back in the days, and that's why I used. Yeah, it's probably 2.5. Yeah, let's just do it one by one. $200 and 250. So this will be 50 miles, 100 miles, and 150 miles. 2.5, 5, and 7.5. Yeah, so in 2.5 days, it's probably about 75 kilometers. I think I use 25 kilometers a day. How far someone can travel, and that's, yeah, a soldier with heavy equipment and having maybe trebuchets coming with them. So yeah, I think this is the. Actually, I'm going to make this a different layer, and of course it's also behind my recording button, and I can get rid of it, so I actually want to lock the layer. Well, maybe I can. Maybe I can't. I don't know. Let's just leave it for now. Yeah, I think I also want to make these a little bit. Yeah, I think that can stay the same, but this one I also want to divide by 2. Yeah, it's looking a little bit more. Yeah, it's more pleasant on the eye, I think. Yeah, so here comes the thinking part. Where will the realm start? I did incorporate a few elements in my story, and that's, yeah, there's a battle, and I didn't really define by who. I named 2 cities, which from now I can't really remember their names. One is Ktefe, I believe, and the other one is, well, something else. It's probably a city or a state. I haven't really defined it. And when the birding wives escape, they cross a river. And because they're establishing a new realm, I think this could be the river where they. This could be the river they cross. Maybe some ford, or. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably somewhere around. Maybe this one. Maybe here. I think this is where they cross it, and then they travel for 3 days. So that's then my scale of Batarian day marches come in handy. So it's 2.5 days. It should be a little more than this, and well, it could be maybe a little bit less, because they're also traveling with pregnant women, and maybe in 3 days they do about maybe 50 kilometers. maybe a little more. And when they arrive, yeah, I'm going to do this. And I described they cross forests and then they finally end up in some mountainous area. So here is probably going to be some mountains. And what I did was I for my other maps I did create some assets. Yeah, you see, there are some sketches. I drew some pine trees. I did do some more Mediterranean pine trees, I think. Some I don't even know what they're called. It's also pine trees for the north. These are more for the south, more Italian, maybe Spanish, Greek, Mediterranean trees. This was I wanted to use this for swamps, but it turned out it's going to be quite quite noisy. No, is that it's just too much if you put them all together in a really crowded, really, yeah. It's just too much. So I decided to remove these little streams, and it looks a little bit better, I think. Maybe I left one or two in these. Yeah, you see, these little streams. So yeah, that's how I do it. Yeah, I don't need this one. I needed this one. And what I also did, these are some. The tides in my world are a little bit different, so there are a lot of intertidal areas, and still trying to figure out what am I going to make with it. But yeah, these were what I was looking for. So the mountains, and I think this one is the lines. No, these one are the. Oh yeah, these are the lines. These are just filled in gaps, and I use this style. I liked it, but yeah, there are millions of different ways to create a mountain. But if you want to use this more of lines for shadow, when you really zoom in, it looks, it doesn't really look good. But if you zoom out, and I think that looks nice. So that could be a way, but yeah, again, it's not a tutorial. And there are just way better YouTubers that can explain how to draw a mountain than I do. I only want to show my process. Well, it's called Nameless. I'm going to save this one in my Dropbox for, where is it? Stories, World of Estes, Tales. No, it's going to be in World Map. It's going to be in Charts and Maps. Betharian Empire has, and I'm going to call it Hessias. It's good for now. Yeah, it's way too big. And I also didn't really think about plate tectonics. It's just a mountainous area, and could be hills, and like I said, I'm from the Netherlands, so everything is flat here. So when there is a hill of about 300 meters in height, then I would already make it a make it a mountain. And yeah, I'm going to remove this one because it's already here. And I believe I also did it. Yeah, there's no name in there. And I think this is actually not a realistic scale, but it's kind of how I envisioned it. This sort of bowl-shaped mountain area where they are going to establish their first city. And okay, I'm going to and the distance it's a bit, yeah, it's kind of just a marker. It's not really the distance. They, like I said, it's 3 days, so it could be 70, could be 100 if they're really fast, if they're really hunted by the other soldiers. So yeah, I'm going to remove it for now. And yes, there finally is coming. So these are the borders. So it's probably going to be like this. Yeah, it's if you look at my other maps, this is really a vast area. This one is even bigger. Like you can see, it's about, yeah, just this piece alone is 1,000 kilometers, but it's also a lot of it is wasteland. It's just ice. It's uninhabitable. Yeah, uninhabitable. This one is a bit smaller. Yeah, one stroke is 500, so it's probably half the size of the northern map. And this one is even smaller. Yeah, 250 kilometers. So it's, well, let's measure it. It's 250. 250 is 25. So it's probably, yeah, 600 kilometers from the widest point, which is bigger than the Netherlands. It's twice as big as the Netherlands, so it's yeah, still a decent sized country. Yeah, and I'm going to place some trees, and do I want to use these trees or do I want to? Maybe an icon or a symbol. And this is what I also do. When I don't have inspiration, I just look up and I look at what style do I like. I kind of like this one, but I think it's also too, I want it more stylized. Yeah, like this, how children draw trees, and it's kind of stylized, but yes, this is what I'm going for. It's kind of difficult. Here are some nice ones. If I can stylize these, but are these the trees I'm looking for? I'm going to look it up in Dutch. I don't know. Well, let's see how what it's called in English translate. A deciduous forest. Yeah, I heard that before. Maybe use that deciduous tree. Maybe leave the icon out. Yeah, this is nice, but will I be able to recreate such a thing in Illustrator? Maybe this one. Yeah. What would look good in a great forest structure? I think these are. Well, let's see what I have. Yeah, these are more savanna trees. These I wanted to have some sort of willow mangrove kind of tree. Just use my fantasy there. Yeah, these are more. Oh yeah, see the abominations I created here. It's yeah. Well, I can actually delete them because I've got my pine trees right now, and they're over here. Well, let's place the city first, and I think I'm going to remove the little guy on top. Might use a different, less warmongering figure for it. And I want to place it somewhere here, right in the middle. And if my recording button wouldn't be in the way, then I would place everything in a different layer, but I'm probably going to do that outside of the recording. So yeah, these are the things I can do. Maybe I want to put some hills around it. It's just filler material, but I just gives a little bit of extra character to the map, I think. This one is a little bit. I think my lines are too thin. Maybe I can. My assets. To use this and maybe make my lines a little bit thicker, so that when I do I want to remove this one? Yeah, I used a tree for it. Maybe. Where did I leave it? I think it's over here. Short stories. The Betharians, and I think I did some. I might use this little tree. Yeah, I could use this. This is the artwork for the cover I'm making, and yeah, maybe I can use this as a, so it doesn't have to be as high and pompous. Is that the word for it? For the men. I think this actually looks nice in my opinion. So this is the capital of It's also a little bit like Lord of the Rings, the tree. So yeah. Well, I'm not mad. This actually looks, in my opinion, it looks cool. So then I'm going to copy this one to here. This might be a little bit too much. It's still too much. Yeah, so the place they arrived, they named this the wet nurse, the wet nurse tree. It's 3 and 3. It's hard in Dutch to to differentiate the two. But yeah, they have this wet nurse tree that gives a sort of a milk, maybe sort of a, and they give it to the babies so they become strong, and it's a symbol for the queen has. So yeah, yeah, placement's still a bit difficult, and also it's not 100% accurate. Yeah, it might actually be bigger, just so symbolically you would know this is the area. And then if you look at the scale, it's probably 40 kilometers in diameter. Well, the city is not that big. But yeah, I think I'm going to stop recording for now and think about how the trees, how I'm going to do the trees. And yeah, when I know what trees to use, I'll just start recording again and start part 2. So hopefully you see how little I actually did in an hour. So yeah, and this is one of the smallest. Well, this is the smallest map I've created. So there's really going to you're really going to put a lot of time in your maps, or at least I do. But yeah, might be a little bit perfectionistic. In some ways, in other ways, I'm not. So yeah, I hope this is a little bit helpful. I hope it's fun to see how other people than yourself are creating maps. And if you want to know more about my short stories, then you can go to talesofestes.com. And yeah, the site is not looking pretty, but yeah, here's my first short story, and if you like it, it's about 10,000 words, so yeah, maybe an hour or so reading. Yeah, you might like it, you might not. Yeah, so then I will hopefully see you next time, and maybe I'll have a better plan. Maybe, and probably not, because yeah, I'm not that structured. So yeah, goodbye.